Hello, my name is Shelley Overton and I am from AstrologerAngel.com and the Astro Energy Astrology Show on Blog Talk Radio. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel and listening to my podcast every week. I'm going to talk today about the solar eclipse since it seems to be the hot topic, and honestly I just had a show last week about it and you're welcome to go listen. It's blogtalkradio.com Astro Energy. And I will put a link in the description below where you can get that. So, the solar eclipse, an event that happens in America every 100 years or so, but it's coming up tomorrow. Today is the 20th of August, and it's going to be a big event. How does it affect us astrologically? You may be wondering that very thing. Well, I will tell you. I will go through the whole Zodiac and let you know the issues that are coming up for everybody. Pardon me, I've got my chart right off screen here, so I'm going to reference it right there and let you know. So it is going to be at 28 degrees. That means that the sun is at 28 degrees Leo and the moon will come into alignment at that very same degree, 28 degrees. So first off, anything in your chart that is at 28 degrees, meaning any of the planets or lights, which is the sun and the moon, in your chart, the time you were born, you will be affected by this eclipse. What is the eclipse going to do? Well, it is shining a light on a specific area of our lives. It's at the end degrees of Leo. That means that Leo is the energy that is ruled by the sun, and so the sun is part of it. It's a very big connection for Leos, and it means that the energy that the sign actually has, the sun, is going to be stifled for a little bit, for that middle of the day couple hours where the sun gets blocked by the moon. So in archetypes, that means that the leadership qualities, the anything that's Leo, meaning leadership, creativity, romance, children, energy around children within the family, or even children in the workplace, or anything that might be a creative, playful energy will be affected. And it will be affected by the feminine energy blocking it, which is the moon, and stifling that light for a period of time. And it's kind of like a cosmic reset. So we have this energy radiating from the sun, and it's a specific way, and it's at the end degrees. So that means that it's a wrapping up or culmination of an old story. Leo is the storyteller. So we have this creative idea of who we are, or wherever Leo falls in your natal chart, that part of your life, you have the story that you tell. And as this energy comes to pass, we have the story that is blocked. And then, like a reset button, the light comes back. And now it's almost as if we see it in a different way. And so not only is that something that's going to happen, but it is an energy of shift and change in our lives. We are going to see our lives in a different way, and the true nature may come out, and we will also be experiencing interactions with other people in a new way. So this also doesn't just happen for those 2 hours. It is an energy that is experienced over the course of time, and astrologically we have cycles where these things can go and be triggered, and then the next time another planet triggers that degree, we will see it again. In this case, we have Venus coming up on that very energy, and that will happen later on in September. We will see Venus come in to the picture and re-trigger that point. And also, we have an opposition going on between this energy in the nodes of the moon, and the nodes of the moon are fated positions. So they will be at 24 degrees. The north node is in Leo, which will be a very small amount of distance in the sky away from this exact eclipse point. That means that the north node is the energy that we want to change something in our lives with, such as let me back up. So the South Node, which is always where I start talking about the nodes, the South Node is what we bring in from a past life. That's always the opposite of the North Node. So the South Node will be in Aquarius. That means it's technology, science, innovation, new ideas, thinking, group energy, unions, organizational energy, energy around people and friendships at work or in the career endeavor, in the career venue. So we're bringing in from the past these ideas of how we interact with people in a group. The future, we take the South Node, which is the energy of the past, and we transmute that energy wherever it's at in the zodiac. Right now it's in Aquarius, and then it's going to be transmuted into the energy of Leo. So Leo is, again, children, it's one-on-one connection, it's relating personally one-on-one, whereas Aquarius is the group relationship. So we're trying to go from a detachment of the group, and it's a group think and a collective, into the individuality. But at the same time, we're wrapping up a story around that. So we have the old energy of how our place is within the family, because we are the children as well as have children. So we see who we are in the family as children, and it's an amazing time to shift from that energy into more like being the parent or being in charge of your own inner child. So it's kind of this major transition along those lines as well. So you should be seeing it within the family unit that way. And it's also transmuting that detachment from the collective into the one-on-one absolute connectedness. So we want to understand the other, and it's a new era of understanding the other. So that's an overriding storyline that we're going to be seeing. So now moving into what we're going to see from Venus, Venus will re-trigger it. It may mean that we are letting go of children to a new energy. So I have children who are getting older, and my son just went off to college, so he's really going off into a new adult realm, and it's about wrapping up those stories around that energy. It's around my daughter personally. She's 16, so she's not quite there yet, but Venus in Leo is the feminine expression. So really, I definitely see a lot of shifting from the old masculine hierarchical energy into a more feminine energy, which will also be reinforced next year with Uranus's transit into Taurus, which is a feminine sign, out of the Aries, which when Uranus has been in Aries, we've been seeing a lot of police energy, a lot of hierarchy, leadership, masculine energy. I live out in the country, and it's like all day long I see the pickup trucks and the motorcycles and the RVs and all the kind of masculine play toys that are out there. They go by every day. So next year we'll see this coming in of the feminine energy, and also when Venus hits that in an astrological cycle standpoint, we'll see that femininity being the next energy that hits these points. Granted, Mars is also in Leo, but it won't get there before Venus gets there. Mars is at 20 degrees, and he moves a little slower through the zodiac than Venus does, so she will join up with Mars, and then she will take off on her own. And we'll see that coming up in this next month, in September. So we have a lot going on in this degree of Leo this week, and also coming up at the end of the week, we have Saturn moving direct. It's been retrograde in Sagittarius, a fire energy, and it's in late degrees. So it's at 21 degrees. It will get back probably, well, it won't even get back much beyond that. It's at 21 degrees Sagittarius. So when he goes direct, he is on a cycle towards Capricorn at the end of the year, at 29th of December. And so he has been going forward, triggering these desires to move and travel and educate and learn and grow. And when he goes backwards, he goes back over some of those issues that we've been dealing with. And then he'll move forward again, like I said, on the 26th, which is the end of the week. When he does that, he's going to be going for the final pass in the next 28 years. It'll be the final time he's crossing over the last degrees of Sagittarius until he comes all the way around through the zodiac again. So he's adding an extra added life purpose energy to this whole eclipse. It's only 5 days difference between the two intense events, astrological events, astronomical events too, because they both kind of work together in an astrologer's world. So we're seeing all this, and what does that mean? Well, Saturn is career and life purpose, and definitely in the fire energy, and they are in trine, which means 120 degrees apart, so it's part of a triangle. So they're 120 degrees apart, the eclipse point and Saturn going direct. So we're going to see this connectedness, and trines can bring about heart-wrenching events, and it will be very profound events, followed by a new direction, which actually is more in alignment with your life purpose. So you're going to be seeing this change and shift, not only around wanting to create something new, which I'm getting chills over that, but also Saturn is life purpose and aligning more with this fire energy and a drive to move forward. So all of that said, now we've got all the different signs. So having an Aries sun sign or rising sign, all the Leo energy is going to be falling in your house of children. So children, romance, and creativity, which is the Leo house. So that's the 5th house of the Zodiac. And it is everything I just said about Leo. It's creativity, romance. It can re-trigger your romantic life, and you'll see maybe somebody new comes in romantically. You have a strong feeling around wanting to be, again, wanting to be your own adult. Even though you are still your parent's child, you become more of your own parent to the inner child. The creative nature coming out, wanting to create, very dramatic. It could be acting, it could be anything in the arts. Leos are really good with humor. They're good in gambling, which means you may have some gambling issues coming up, or maybe right now, interestingly, we have the lottery. It just went up again today to over $600 million, more than $500 million on this Leo eclipse. Again, ruling the gambling energy. Not surprising. So Aries, they will be inclined to make changes around those interpersonal relationships, one-on-one relationships. They want to relate, but they want to relate in a new way. Taurus, you're going to be feeling this energy in the home and family sector. It will probably still affect you around children, around, the family unit, and wanting to express more of a creative nature in the family unit. So you're going to see maybe desires to have more children, or again, wrapping up having children and moving on to a new life and being more creative within yourself. Maybe you put it on the shelf before and you want to express it now. Keeping in mind that Taurus squares Leo, so there could be some issues because Taurus is the energy of money and desire, and also the tangible relationship. You could be seeing some cracks in that relationship where maybe ego needs are not being met. So you'll see some of those issues. You can be seeing monetary issues. Are your finances where you want them to be? Maybe you've been feeling a lot of stress with the Saturn retrograde, or all this approaching energy in Leo, and the things that you're doing are not as creative as you want. You may be wanting to move to a new location. That Saturn energy really driving you to go and create a change. But mostly the Taurus energy is dealing with family and potentially maternal or paternal issues that have been either the old story or neglected from the past. So Geminis, Leo energy is going to be falling in your house of communications and thought. And so this means that your expression, your creative expression, is being challenged, or you are coming to the end of that story and maybe you're not being heard, maybe you're not being listened to the way you need to be listened to. So the Gemini energy always needs to be heard and broadcast. So we always see this when we have the energy in the 3rd house, that for Geminis, it's going to be about that attention getting, broadcast information, and am I in the center of attention? So this energy for people with Gemini, a lot about the public eye, bringing in the public eye. Of course, Leo needs public attention or even just affirmation. and attention. So we're going to see that. You may also have some energy around neighbors, around children or siblings, and around small animals and appliances. You could have more issues with appliances not working. Keep in mind that we are still in a Virgo Mercury retrograde, and Mercury will actually retrograde all the way back to the degree of the eclipse. So that's an added one on top of everything else. Mercury and communication, healing. Yeah, education is part of the Mercury energy, contracts, and again, communication. So it will also be affecting Geminis and Virgos more strongly because Mercury is their ruling planet. Coming into Cancer, Cancer rising, again, very much about the cycles of the moon. So it's probably doubly hit because you have the moon, which is the ruler of Cancer, and the sun, which is ruler of Leo. And so they're coming together. So they're almost enmeshing and becoming like one. And that really is, it's called combust when the moon and the sun are at the same degree. And so in Leo, it's bringing, again, the ending of one story, the beginning of a new one, old family, new family ideals, ideology, creativity. It could be the ending of your old family story or with the other family of origin, or an old family, say you got divorced and now you're starting a new one, or going into a new relationship. That could be coming along. It could be changing your home, you know, getting a new home or thinking about moving. Your nest is going to change. Maybe your home isn't really doing it for you anymore, or again, your children are moving on into other relationships. But it is very much about sense of self within the relationship, because Cancer in the first house would be the sense of self and who you are as a nurturer, as a mother figure. And then the father figure would be the son. So mother and father coming together, having that kibbutz. And so we're going to be seeing a lot of energy around pairing and partnering, romance. What's the story around that? What's the story around the family, the nest? Decorating will be very big. Are you doing the kind of look in your house that you want? Because it is about creative expression. And the second house with Cancer would be Leo. So that's also money and relationship desires. What is it that you want as a partner for your home life, for how you want that to move forward? It can also mean, what is the status, energy around how your house looks? Is it showing the world how you truly feel creatively? Going on to the next one, Virgo. Virgo is the energy, again, of Mercury and health, healing, and work. Leo will be in your 12th house with a Virgo rising energy. And that puts all of that Leo in your subconscious. So you're thinking about, what am I getting in this life? Am I able to express myself and my intuitive desires the way I really need to, like my vision for my life, my ideal life? Is it really happening? Am I able to connect to people and give them spiritual guidance, or am I getting the spiritual guidance I need? Are my angels or inner voice or any of the spiritual connectedness, am I listening to that? Am I hearing it? And how am I interacting with that? Also, because it's work and health, we will be seeing potentially more heart issues, because Leo rules the heart. And if you have health issues, you know, look to your heart. Where's your heart's desire? That's very important, and the vision you have. So it can also mean energy around work, the workplace. And are you getting enough creativity infused into that? What is your work baby? Do you have a pet project that you've been working on? What do you need to do about that? Are you getting the attention? Are you expressing it the right way? A lot of attention and energy at work. That's really the place that you're going to be seeing it mostly. And then also, again, health and services. So if you're in a service industry, are you able to create, again, that emotional, mental baby of creativity? You know, what is your pet project? And that's going to be the shift area. So Libra has Leo in the position of the 11th house, and Libra is partnering and connectedness. So with Libras, Leo is going to fall into, are you detached? Are you expressing yourself or getting an idea, the creative ideas, the inventiveness out? It's finding out more information about creative endeavors, maybe in electronic media. It could be getting a YouTube channel, which would be really ideal for someone with a Libra because they want to express connectedness. So Libras are balancers, and they're also an air energy. And that means that they're in their minds, but they're about the ideal relationship. So having Leo in the 11th, is going to bring out all these creative ideas that you want to express on a stage, on a world stage. Leo coupled with Aquarius. So Libras kind of meld and merge the two worlds of detachment and attachment. The Aquarius house energy is going to be electronic media and technology and science, and Leo is creative ways of merging that. So you're going to see a lot of that coming up. Then when we move on to Scorpio, again, another energy that squares Leo. So Scorpions are going to have Leo energy in the 10th house, which is career and life purpose and structures, hierarchy. So Leo in that house means world attention. It's like, are you getting the attention for your creativeness and your endeavors? What are your creative career choices? And really moving into a new story around career and expression in dramatic ways. It can be this will be a very dramatic change and shift for you. You're going to probably have a new career path present itself, or finally make the one that you've been trying to have work happen. And this is a huge jumping off point. I've got chills with this for you with Scorpio Sun, Scorpio rising. It can be difficult because you've got that Scorpio energy, intense, deeply connected, and sometimes there is an ego issue that you're not paying attention to, and Scorpios tend to be very rooted in the hidden, so it may be difficult for them to really be in the public eye, and yet they want that. There's a certain side of the Scorpio energy that obviously likes to be hidden. It has a history of being kind of mysterious and not really forthright. So the Leo energy is shining the light on that career and putting you in a position to be in the spotlight. So you really have to get real with what you need to give the world. And part of your career will be in the spotlight. That's just part of your nature with the Scorpio rising and Scorpio sun. There's always that energy in the background whenever the planets are in Leo, or if you have Leo planets in your chart. Sagittarius, you will find all the Leo energy is in the 9th house or area of your chart. That's the area that your sign naturally rules. It is higher education, it is travel, exploration, other cultures. It can be higher education, like being a professor at a college, high school, spirituality, religion, all these areas. It will also affect a bit of selling of a house or property sales. Also, it is the comedian and the musician of the Zodiac, that energy. So having Leo in this house means you bring that sense of drama to all those areas. It means that you want to tell the story, you want to connect one-on-one in a sense of how you are spiritually advanced, or you want to bring in a childlike sense of wonder to spirituality. You aren't terribly serious in that regard, but at the same time it means a lot to you, but you bring in this joyfulness. Having the eclipse in that house means that there are more opportunities for travel, that you are realizing and recognizing your connectedness to the youthful energy. So children and childlike nature is really important. And this eclipse, you're going to have opportunities or shifts of ideology. So that means how you think about your place in the world as it relates to other people, other cultures, individually, one-on-one with people in an educational setting. There will be opportunities there. You'll be ending the old story around education. That may mean that you've already been to school and now you are looking to go to the next level and do something that's very creative, but not necessarily what you've been doing. So you're putting to rest the old story around education and bringing in more of a playfulness. If you have been feeling a little bit more restricted, even depressed in the past, now's the time to really look to the future with more optimism and joy. The next sign, Capricorn, I feel for you because Capricorn has really been going through their own difficulty. Leo falls in your 8th house. So you've been going through a whole renovation of how you think about yourself with Pluto in Capricorn since 2007, 2008 timeline. And now we have the eclipse in the 8th house. This it is also the area of death and rebirth. So it is about learning about dying, but this energy is more about ideas and ideology going away. It can be children leaving the nest, it can be children moving on, or some type of deep emotional connection to a partner is going through a metamorphosis and shift, and you are becoming a different person because of the Pluto energy in your natal chart affecting either your sun or your ego if it's in the 1st house with the Capricorn rising. So the energy of the eclipse is going to express in a transition of children to a new place in your life or a new way of interacting with them. Children and romance and connectedness one-on-one and leadership are all the themes of this energy for you. It is finding out things you may not have known about your children, things you may not have known about your personal finances. Your partner may be taking more risks than you're used to, but because the eclipse energy is so concentrated in that house, you can have shifts around how a partner has been frivolous with money or overly generous, and then shifts to a new ideology, or you may shift your ideology around that. You can see more playfulness around serious subjects, or find that you definitely need to express a creative side in the marriage dynamic. And so that you are wanting more attention than you're necessarily getting. And you may also feel like it's time to shift how you interact with your own children around money. So moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, you have Leo directly opposite your sign, and that means that naturally Aquarius is very detached. I shouldn't say very. They are very charismatic, but detachment is one of the dynamics of the sign. So they aren't necessarily emotionally connected, they are mentally connected, and they're not just connected one-on-one, which is what Leo does. They are connected in an overriding energy, so more about humanitarianism and society and overarching interest in humanity. And so Leo is bringing the awareness of your partner to the fore, because now Leo is in your 7th house of marriage and partnership. So it's about connecting into the partner and really understanding one-on-one relationships versus connecting to your social group or connecting to humanity as a whole. You are being asked to understand the one-on-one bond with a partner. So a lot of shifts and changes have been happening in that department for your zodiac. And it also means that there may be a more playful side to your relationship, and you may want to bring in that playful risk taker and take a gamble on marriage, which may not be something that you have thought about. It is an energy that always Leo wants to bring in creativity, play, and the story. So the story will shift for you around partnership and marriage. Finally, Pisces. Pisces, you have the energy of Leo in the 6th house, which is service, health, and education. It can be the military, and it's also anything medical. So this is the energy of service, but since it is Leo, it's service to children or service to your own childlike nature or your heart, because you want to pay attention to heart issues. And if you're not necessarily following your heart, you may have issues with heart-related symptoms. So be aware if you are dealing with any kind of heart issues, it does have to do with being true to your heart and true to yourself. Children obviously are going, and parenting specifically, you're going to be changing the story around those subjects. So if you have anything else you would like to know, please do listen to Astro Energy on Blog Talk Radio. It's on every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can also check out my website at astrologerangel.com, and hopefully you'll listen on the podcast and come back and read some of the blogs on Astrologer Angel. And if you like this, definitely subscribe or hit like, and I can do more live Zodiac discussions. So anyway, that's all. Thanks. Have a safe eclipse. Don't look directly at it. Look through some dark tinted glasses or objects. I have some cataract, or when they increase your pupils at the doctor for an eye exam, got the little inserts for that. But I probably will watch it on TV. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the eclipse, and it's going to be a time of big change. It lasts for up to a year, year and a half. I think it goes far-reaching, and Venus will also come in the next month and hit that same point. Mercury retrogrades back to 28 degrees Leo. So there are a few other coming triggers that will continue this energy. So pay attention to that. Donald Trump also has some energy in his chart that hits directly on Leo. I don't have that information. I'll probably cut this out. Anyway, thanks a lot. Bye. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.